Girl on the Move. What's up? What's up? We are here in Kansas City, Boulevard 64, and we're gonna kick. Come on in. I need y'all to tap in a little bit because we got some important information for you. Don't bring no smoke. Don't bring no smoke. It's preseason, okay? It was preseason, but listen, it's a topic that we need to be talking about so more. We need to be talking about it over and over and over again because it's an important topic to listen to and to understand. Okay? This couple was on my live February the 28th of 2021. I ended up interviewing Jacoya, the Browns. And if y'all seen that live, she talked about, she has a phlebotomy school or whatever, and everything, stuff is going, okay? Things have changed, let's just say that. Well, for this couple here, things have really changed. And I'm encouraged. Now, I am an encourager, but this baby has encouraged me to levels that I can't even reach right now. But I am going to let them tell you everything. We're going to get caught up on what's going on with them. Come on in. Tap on in. Hey, son. I see you, baby. I see you. All right. And here are the Joneses. They got their blue on. I was like, dang, I should have had my blue on. It was an accident. But that's okay. That's okay. Listen, I am so happy to be sitting with you all this evening on an important subject. So many different changes have transpired since the last time we've seen each other. And I need y'all to explain it, walk me through it. I don't even know where to begin. Okay? I'm just happy that everything is going well. I'm happy to see smiles on y'all faces. But it's
about to be a topic. It's about to be a topic.
Ooh, baby.
So the last time we were here, we talked about it was relationship.
Yes. Yes.
Relationship topic. More. But since then, we've been licensed in life insurance.
Yeah.
And I've got my investment license. So
yes.
Am I able to help family with life insurance? I also help families with investments, so getting prepared for retirement and
yes.
Children getting their investments and things set up. So that has been the biggest change, one of the biggest changes here lately, is actually loving to protect families with their insurance and then with their investments also.
Yes.
So I've been loving the journey actually of that.
Yeah. Yes. I say you talked about your podcast too. Now that was one thing that you were really, I mean, it was like at the beginning stages. So tell me how the podcast is going. And what is the name of the podcast? I mean, just fill us in.
The podcast has been great. Our number of subscribers has kind of amped up. It's called Learn, Love, and Reflect.
Yeah.
And what it is, we're talking about our relationship, how we grow, how we've grown, our mistakes we've made, the mistakes we continue to make, how we fix them.
Yes.
I mean, just everything, to our finances, to our arguments, to our love scenes.
Yes, yes. That realness.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, and a lot of times, she don't even know, the topics I'm going to come up with. So, and I do that purposefully so it don't come off as fake. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I'll be like, she be like, what we going to talk about? I'll be like, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
and just flow, because we want to be and try to be as genuine as possible when it comes to us. When it comes to our friendship, relationship, love, can't stand you on Wednesday day. We just want it to be very, very authentic and not be so much scripted because when you do that, it comes off as fake.
Exactly. And all I do sometimes, I just do some notes. That's all. I won't forget. But I freestyle a lot.
But I was about to say, when we watch your stuff, we know it's genuine and it comes from the heart.
Yes.
Regardless of what you write down on paper.
Oh, no.
we know,
Uh-huh.
like, it's very authentic from you, and that's where I just got goosebumps. That's where, for me,
Yeah.
like, we appreciate what you give off, because your energy, your passion of what you talk about, and how you want to not just help yourself, your kids, but the community.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So for us, it's. I mean, you really bless us, like, for real. Even if we don't catch it right in that moment, we go back, we look. I mean, just everything you do is dope.
Ditto, okay?
So-
Right back at you. Right back at you. Right back at you. And I think we need to do more of this. More of being real, more of having real conversations about real topics.
For sure.
You know, because it seems everything is so like, everything's so perfect and beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
We find out that people appreciate us being honest and truthful about the situation. It's
Yes.
like, man, I wish I had somebody that talked like this when I was my first time I was married. Or
Yes.
stuff like this. And
Yeah.
a lot of people are elders that are like, man, this is so good.
Yes.
I wish I had somebody like you when my first marriage, my second marriage, or and it's just crazy. And we're just being Anthony and Jackie and just exposing ourselves, and I love
And
it.
not being afraid to do it, because and again, it's not for everybody.
Right.
Everybody is not gonna be. There are things and people out there. Oh, so you sometimes you don't that stuff should just be private. Okay.
No.
That's that's for you. You know what I'm saying? So for us, that's just we just said, man, you know what? Forget it. We just gonna become an open book.
That's right.
And
That's right.
Share what we have and. Hopefully it'll be genuine and help somebody else throughout the process. Even if it's something similar to what we're going through, maybe not the same thing, that's what we try.
Right. And I think sometimes people message you, and they express on the back end, girl, honey.
We get it a lot.
Yeah. So
which is cool to me,
I think that's good because that lets you know that you are making an impact with your community. And I don't need to say names. I don't need to call nothing. I'm just going to share this with the people. I'm going to share my rawness, and that's
Whatever
it.
happens,
Yeah.
That's exactly how
Take me as I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Mary J.
That's exactly who we are, man. Honestly, we love God, we love Christ and stuff like that. However, we still gonna be who we are. You know, just like last night, and I please forgive me if I'm deviating off the conversation.
Oh, come on.
I was sitting on the couch and I was like, hey, it's two-step. And we turned on the music.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, because and we'll get to this point, just kind of what she's been dealing with personally.
Right.
I wanted her to be like, not just an awe moment, but just like, let me take my mind off of that.
Right.
And let's get back to because we used to just dance anyway. I'm like, you want to dance with me? Just little stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
Because I think she needed that mentally, and maybe even physically, because I know there's still some pain, and again, I'll let her
Yeah.
get into her story here in a minute. I don't want to jump ahead. So, but yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, and I will have to agree with what you said. Some people, the elders. Am I elder? Girl, they got that.
Out here looking like you 37.
Okay, but that's okay. I am an elder. That's real. No, but just to be able to do those type of things, I did not do those type of things in my marriage, my first marriage. But of course, God will send the right one, and I'll be prepared. Looking through y'all videos, listening to you. I always say the youth. It's beautiful being young, you know what I'm saying? Because I always say if you get it younger, then you get to my age, it's like, wow, you'll have more beautiful days and a lot of long journey of life together, being able to communicate with one another and not hold stuff back from one another. But that's learning, and that's being patient with each other. Girl, you could teach us so much. Y'all teaching us. Shoot, y'all teaching us.
We trying.
Yeah. Okay, Miss Encouragement. Oh, honey, please tell us your story.
Okay, so we're going to the last 90-day story of my life, or What part?
However you want to start.
Okay, so I'll start with my profession.
Yes.
I've been working in financial services about to be 23 years in October.
Yes.
I was based here in Kansas City. I was introduced into the financial service part of insurance and investments through Primerica, and fell in love with that 2 years ago or whatever. But and then I got my investment licenses and things like that. And the importance of life insurance became evident into our life is in May of this year when I went in for my second yearly mammogram. So I had my first one because I was having issues with my right, it wasn't even my right breast, it was kind of in my right underarm area. So I was like, let me just go to the doctors because it's kind of irritating, let's go to the doctors. And so she was like, oh, you're about to turn 40, let's just go ahead and do a mammogram or whatever. And that was first year, came back, nothing abnormal, everything's fine. So I was like, okay, whatever. She was like, set them up by your birthday every year just so you can remember. And so my birthday came up this year. I set up my mammogram, and I would off and on still kind of had the issue on my side.
In which we assumed at first it was kind of tied into her cycle.
Okay.
Because it would match up often, but then it kind of flew off of that, so it was kind of iffy. It's not matching cycle, whatever. So now it's kind of iffy. So I did end up going to the doctor again, and even the doctor thought it was a cyclical thing. She was like, it might be you're getting older, your hormones are changing, whatever. And so that made sense to me. And then year 2 came around, my second mammogram, and get them smashed both ways.
Yeah. All that pancake, honey.
Smashed both ways. And I'm really honestly thinking I'm out of there. And they call me back the next day and tell me I need to come in because they seen something in my left breast. My left breast, like the right breast is the one that gives me all the, all the problems or whatever.
Okay.
And so come in, it's instantly a secret stress. I say secret because I didn't expose how stressful the being patient for a week for an appointment was.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so secret stress waiting for that appointment because they had to do an ultrasound at that point. And so then they do an ultrasound, and then they come back and the radiologist basically says it looks odd. We need to do a biopsy. And that's when everything basically begins. So biopsy day was like a week later, so everything at that point is like a week, and end up getting my biopsy done alone. They wouldn't let him in the back, so he comes with me, of course, but they wouldn't let him in the back because she said the room is too small, and some doctors are iffy on if they let people come in there, which the room was kind of small, I understand now. But I cried the entire time. The nurse, I seen her each time I had my ultrasounds and stuff done and biopsies done, so we were kind of familiar or whatever. And she held my hand up the entire time. I'm not like boo-hooing, I'm just tearing the entire time. And the doctor tells me, like, it's okay, 80% of these are nothing. I just seen it, and I want the radiologist guy. He was like, I just seen it. I want to see them. I just want to check them and make sure everything's okay. So get the painful biopsy completed. She rushes and goes to get Anthony, and we kind of recover together. He sees that I'm emotional, of course, and all of that. The point of me saying is that I recognize then how important life insurance is because if at that moment if I had breast cancer, I would be uninsurable, and so I wouldn't be able to get life insurance. And so me knowing that, I'm like, at least we have adequate life insurance.
Yes.
If something happens to me, I know they're going to be A-okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's funny but that was like the thing that's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll go straight to like insurance. Like I'm an insurance person, right?
Yeah.
But after the biopsy, you have to wait again. So everything is like a waiting process. And so you wait until you can get, and so during that waiting process of not knowing, your mind goes into a uncontrollable state, is how I guess I can explain it. And during that state of mind, you think the worst. It's hard not to think the best. It's either a 50-50 chance, like it's either going to be this or it's going to be that. And I even notice now while I'm speaking, I'm not even saying the word cancer. Like, it's a difficult
Yeah.
thing to, address. And so, anyways, it was either a week later, I think, because everything at that point, everything was almost a week or a week and a half, or a week and a half later. My doctor actually calls me, and of course you see the number and you're like, oh crap, like here we go. And so I answered the phone. She was like, hey, this is Dr. So-and-so. And I'm like, hi. She was like, she paused, and instantly, I kind of got the idea. And she was like, it came back that it's breast cancer. And she said, how are you? And I said, ma'am, I have 5 kids. I said I have 5 kids and a husband I'm living for. I said, what do I need to do next?
That's right.
And verbatim.
That's right.
And she said, I'm going to get you with the best hospitals and the best doctors. And she said, and then she just sent me through the process. Boom, 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 boom. She said, this person's going to call you, this person's going to call you to, and which she was like, I'm sending you to KU, blah, 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 all this. And I said, okay. And I was perfectly fine with that. Like, it was the oddest day. It was like the oddest moment. Like, as soon as I got the phone call, I called my sisters. I did like a video call, I believe, with my mom, my sisters. And I was like, hey, you guys, so silly.
Wow.
I'm like, hey, everybody, like, hey, I'm just letting you know the doctors called me and they said this breast cancer. I'm going to be fine. It's okay. Da, 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 da. And their faces is just like, and I'm like, don't cry. Like, it's fine. Da, 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 da. And we get off the phone. I called Anthony. I'm like, hey, babe, like, yeah, doctor called. She said it's breast cancer. Okay, yeah, bye. Off the phone.
Yeah.
Emotionally hasn't hit me.
Right.
This is what's happening.
Right.
It was on a Thursday, our nephew's graduation. And on graduation day, once, all of this, and we go to the graduation, and I'm watching like the graduation, as a normal person would. But I find myself at that moment during the graduation kind of getting emotional. And so then I'm like suppressing my emotions, and I start kind of thinking like, okay, am I going to see my kids at this point? Because we had the youngest one with us, and but the youngest one was with us or whatever, and then at some point during the graduation, while I'm suppressing thoughts, I'm hearing my brother-in-law talk to the youngest about, is he ready to graduate? And at the same time of that conversation, to my left, Anthony's to my right, and he's talking about to somebody behind us about our other 2 graduating the same year.
Yeah.
And so while I'm suppressing, these conversations about what I'm trying to suppress are coming up at the same time, and I am just like, it's just rising. And it gets to a point like I stood up. And if I didn't, like, the graduation was going to be about Jackie, and it was no longer going to be about the kids that's in this auditorium. And I felt like I ran over these elderly couples.
Yeah, she football.
She did it. She didn't feel it. She did it.
She was like, I don't even know if she said excuse me.
I do remember saying excuse me, and I remember my eyes filling up with tears.
Yeah.
And like I'm going, excuse me, going through them. And as soon as I hit like that bottom step, like flood of emotions.
Yes.
And he didn't immediately leave to come because we didn't tell anybody. That's the day that we knew. So we're all around family, but family don't know what's wrong. But
you did tell me, like, I'll be back, I'm okay.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's right. Because I remember after you said you come when I was walking away, you looked and you said like, "You okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And and I just bolted out of there, and I just burst into tears. And I'm probably not like everybody that was in the municipal auditorium, like, what is wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
And I don't know, how did you find me? Did I call you, or you called me, or something?
Well, when I called, you didn't answer, so I immediately was like, let me out. And, because I was in the middle of everybody, so I'm trying to climb through people too, and I ain't a small guy, so, and, and I told my cousin who was a nurse.
Because some people did in the family knew I did have to get the biopsy.
Yeah, and she was one of them, so that's why I appointed her to come. And I was like, you, come with me.
Right.
And she was like, what? And I was like, no, you come with me. And I was looking for her and I couldn't find her. So then I got worried. I was like, did she go all the way down to the car? So I was like, let me walk this way. And I seen her in the little foyer area. She was sitting in a chair. And I just put her on my lap and held her. And she just boo-hoo.
Cried.
And first off, I was tripping out before first and foremost, because when she called me, I was the emotional one. I was at work crying like a mug. I was like, God dog, I didn't want nobody to see me. I don't like people see me crying.
Right.
At work.
Right.
And I was like, yo, I'm like, why are you okay?
Right.
Are you okay? Do you want me to come home? I said no, and I'm working.
I'm just fine.
Yeah, I was like,
you're just working.
because in my mind, I was like, she's suppressing. I'm in my mind, you know what I mean? And I'm like, or I'll say that she's either suppressing or it ain't really.
It ain't hit her, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it hit me because I've dealt with people with cancer in my life. I recently just lost my best friend to cancer.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So all that, you know, and my stepfather had passed of cancer, and all this is in me, and I'm like, dude, and we had unfortunately dealt with so much death and everything just kind of in the recent months and everything. Yeah. So I was like, bruh, we can't dodge
get a break,
bullet.
okay?
You know, I said, Lord, what are you doing in this season? Like, you know, and so I drive home. And I'm still emotional. I'm crying. I came home anyway. I wasn't even worried about what she was talking about.
Right.
Don't come home back to work.
I got to come home.
Still, I'll be back. I'm coming right home. So for me, I was devastated. But I didn't. I got all my emotions out before I got home because I didn't want her to see me weak in that moment, and then she, you know what I mean. So you know, I didn't really have another emotional moment till later on in the process. But the beautiful thing, I believe, we shared that together.
Yes. That's beautiful.
And it wasn't even it was a touch, and we both it was no words, right?
Yeah.
And we was driving. We was looking at the sunset together, and it just seemed like the beauty of it and us, and we just cried.
Yeah.
Just cried together. It was a surreal and beautiful moment at the same time. It was. Sorry.
It's okay, man.
Yeah.
So, I just found out today, because I haven't been counting the days, but I was talking to my sister today, and she was like, Jackie, do you know that all of this has occurred in 90 days? I said, what? She was like, it's only been 90 days. She was like, you have had that's why I told you I had a good conversation with my sister today. She was like, sis, she was like, this has only been 90 days. She was like, I look at your videos and I'm like, I can't believe like this is you in only 90 days, and all of this stuff is happening to you in 90 days. And I was just like, I said, oh my God, like it has only been 90 days, because I was complaining about some things. And she was like, and I was like, I know I've been telling myself I need to be patient. She was like, it's only been 90 days. And I was like, wow. I said, and she was like, it's just been so much so fast.
Right.
And so then she started telling me, she was like, you remember this? Do you remember this? Remember this? She was like, it was happening so fast for us. She was just video calling us like, boom, this is what they said, boom, this is what they said, boom, this was, and she was like, you was probably moving so fast, not even knowing what you were doing. Your next step is like, this is my next step, this is my next step. And I was just like, wow, like, you're right.
But your business though. You want to handle business.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what it is.
Yeah. And then in the mix of it, like I didn't stop business. So like not only am I like working during that time, so and I'm not telling employees or anybody what's going on. I'm still working Primerica, and I'm still going with the cancer diagnosis.
Wow.
So I'm still like on three journeys.
Yes,
at the same time. Maintain everything and keep myself emotionally together.
Because and then at that point, like I was trying to stop her. Right? I was like, nope.
Slow down.
I'm doing this. I'm doing nope. You can't do this. And then she was like, no. And I was like, why? And then what did you say? I think it was more.
I told them I didn't want them to handicap me.
Yes.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, what my initial thing was, I said, I don't want people to treat me weird.
Yes.
That's the very first thing I said. I said, don't treat me weird. And meaning he immediately wanted to, I'm gonna start paying bills, I'm gonna do this. I said, no, like don't take, nothing's wrong with me, don't take stuff away from me.
Right,
you know
right.
And then I didn't want family to treat me weird. Like, don't treat me weird. Like, just be normal. And so everybody's like, what? And instantly, in my opinion, people started treating me weird. And so,
well, not weird, caring, loving.
But I had to learn that, and he had to tell me. He had to tell me that because it was a different reaction from people that I never had to experience. So I've never been through anything that I have to experience people's like being emotional towards me or caring and compassionate and stuff like that. So outside of him, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, please don't be weird, don't be weird. And so I think it was like the same day, like that I, let it out to my siblings and stuff. Like my sister comes over to the house, she just drives over and like she brings over all this healthy food and all of this stuff, and she's cooking me salmon and she's making me like a nice little healthy salad and stuff.
Being weird.
And so I almost started to cry in front of her in the kitchen, and she was like, "Don't cry." And so then I come into the bedroom with Anthony, and then I just start crying, and he was like, "What?" I was like, "She's being weird."
She being weird. But you so used to being strong.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
You and I know what you're saying. I understand that, but some people sometimes I watch people shower you. People showered, your mama showered you. She took care of you. Girl, I followed. I watched. I was like, oh my God. And your strength, girl.
Yeah.
I don't think I still even understand what people say when they say that. I really don't. Like, I feel like I'm just doing me, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just doing what I have to do to stay sane most days.
Yeah.
Like, me doing videos keeps me mentally sane. Like, you're getting my raw emotions at that moment. So when people be like, "You're so strong, you look better than what," I wouldn't even think, what they say, like, most people, you don't look like what you're going through.
Yeah, right.
Things. And I'm like, but you're missing, like, this part. And, like, some days, earlier was days, now it's just moments.
Yeah.
But some days were worse than other days. And now it's some moments are worse than other moments. And so then I was like, I need an outlet. And social media became my outlet on how to get those feelings out, and then how to get the education out as well. Because what was new to me apparently is new to a whole bunch of other people, and this also has been helpful to a whole lot of people. And like you said before, like secret messages from people from our Learn, Love, and Reflect YouTube channel. I get secret messages now from people regarding the breast cancer and stuff like that, and how much the videos help them or it's helping somebody else. So it's just like when somebody responds to me about like a video that I did, and they send that, I call it secret message. I don't know if they're doing it secretly. It's just because it's between me and them. Like, my response is almost always my pleasure, because it literally is. Because they don't know, like, me releasing that is a release for me.
Yes.
And then if it's helping you, then thank God, because that's all I can do, and that's all I feel pressured to do.
Yes.
To express it.
Yes. And I think that's it. Community. Helping someone that's going through the same thing but don't want to say it. Like going for your annual mammograms.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes.
I always talk about, okay, don't forget I got to go to mine, this month, right? But you have to stay on top of those type of things. And that people, I don't know why people don't want to know. I do know, like in the country, down deep in the South, they don't want to go because they don't want to know. Yeah, they I'm gonna drink this, I'm gonna take this, and most of that stuff did work, But how things are going these days, you really have to have your immune system strong to fight off things, and even at that, your mental. How you look at it, how it's perceived. You have to look out of your spiritual eyes. That's what I look at life now. I don't do physical. It's all spiritual.
And one of the biggest things out of all of it, not just that situation where she was getting showered and this and that, I tried to get her to understand. I said, what happened was, and what is happening, you're planting seeds.
That's right.
you're planting seeds, and some
That's
of the
right.
seeds that you planted in then,
Uh-huh.
you know, you're reaping those things
Uh-huh.
when you're getting showered.
Uh-huh.
Now with your videos, and you're planting seeds,
Uh-huh.
and you're gonna reap something
That's right.
out of all of it.
Mhm.
You know, your harvest is gonna show up.
That's right.
It may not show up when you want it to.
That's right.
But it's gonna come.
That's
So
right.
I try to make sure I flooded her mind with, babe, look what you did.
Uh-huh.
Look what you're doing.
Look what you're doing.
You're doing something amazing. And kind of go back, like I told her from the beginning. I said, I admire you for paying attention and listening
To your
and
body.
and being in tune with your body.
Yes. Yes.
I praise her every
Yes.
single time when that stuff because she's always in tune. I remember, I used to tease her. I'd be like, man, why am I in the shower looking at this woman with these breasts and blah 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 blah? I'm like, why does it sit here? Boy, I gotta check myself.
Okay.
I gotta know. And I was
That's
like,
right.
but it made me realize
Uh-huh.
and appreciate what she does with her
Body. Yeah.
with herself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And now, I got a fingernail, baby. I need to go to the emergency. You know. but it's just one of those things that I just admire her.
Yes.
And she is the first person that I know of and I to be in tune like that with their body.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people, women and or men,
Yeah.
are not in tune
Not
with
at all.
themselves like that to know, like,
Something's
let
wrong.
me be prepared, or let me make sure,
Mm-hmm.
you know, everything is intact and needs work the way. So from the beginning, I always told her, and I still tell her to this day, babe, I admire
Yes.
what you do and how in tune you are with your body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's important.
It's important.
I want to go back just a little bit of talking about my emotions.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, well, I didn't think I was like this emotional like type of person.
Mhm.
And I was raised by my dad, so it wasn't like really like
Mhm.
the type of father back then. It wasn't at the time. He's way more
Hardcore.
emotional now.
Yeah.
He's a hardcore raising daughters. type
Just
of
like
guy.
mine.
Yeah, so he raised daughters and he was
But she only
hardcore.
cried 5 times before this stuff happened.
Uh-huh.
12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I was
Actually,
born,
13.
so I was a very non-emotional
Yeah.
type of person unless it caused emotion. But you know, I wasn't like just a sensitive chick, basically. And this has really made me a lot more emotional, a lot more compassionate for
Yes.
others, a lot more open.
Humbling.
Humble. Like it has, and I'm like, Lord, if this is what you wanted, like I didn't need this, did I?
Yeah. Yeah.
But thank you.
Yes.
I see the change. But
Yes.
I know the first time that I experienced like a huge emotion from, you know, the diagnosis and people just showering me with their words, gifts. I mean, just crazy stuff. Was I got a delivery, an unexpected delivery at the house of an edible arrangement, and I opened the door and the guy is there, and I'm just like, and so I read the card, and you know, and then I'm just like sitting at my work desk at home, and I'm like, and I just had to get up, and I just went to the bedroom to go pray because I was at the house by myself. And I went to the bedroom to go pray, and I'm just praying.
Yeah.
And I said, Lord, what am I supposed to do with all of this? Because little things were coming before, and I literally heard, receive it.
Hmm.
And I said, receive it?
Yes.
And then I just got up.
Yeah.
And I said, okay.
Yeah.
And
Because you deserve it. Yeah. Bam.
Harvest.
Yeah. Because of all that you have done.
And I hate to say, but I'm still like, what did I do?
Girl.
Because I'm just being me.
And here's what.
But that's it. I'm sorry. That's it.
Thank you.
Because you're just being you.
Thank you.
That's it. A lot of people can't be them. They want to put up a facade. They want to put up like everything is good. Everything is this. No, we hurt. People hurt. Okay, bam. Okay, we hurt. We bleed. We feel lonely times, and that's on an individual base.
Yes.
And if people would be more open to that You know, girl, you gonna have me crying. I mean, and I like you said, your father hardcore.
Yeah.
I had a hardcore father too. But when I got older and he got older, he would cry at the drop of a dime.
Yeah, sensitive now.
I'm like, dang. Then I'm crying and he crying. But I think you tap into something. You didn't tap into that empathy
Yes.
that we don't say that word all the
Yes.
time. Empathy. Let's have empathy for someone that's going through.
Yes.
And when you going through, because you ain't never been through like that through,
Sure.
now you know
Totally different.
people love you.
Yeah.
Yes.
No doubt.
Yes.
No doubt.
Yes.
Without a
It
doubt.
never would have, and it was so shocking. And like whenever things would like literally happen, it shocked me every time. It brought me to tears almost every time. Like the lady that got us the t-shirt like out the blue, like she took a snapshot off of one of our videos that we did on YouTube of our traditional just head kiss. And at the end of our videos, and she got it printed on a t-shirt and put "Learn, Love, Reflect" on there. And I'm like opening up the package, like, what is this? And I just was like how thoughtful.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like you seen a moment that was just, just a moment between me and him.
Yeah.
And just took it and with just her words, with the card that she included and stuff. And I'm just like, there I go. Like,
Yes.
what is happening to me?
Yeah.
What are these tears coming out of my eyes?
Yeah.
Like, and so everybody has been down to the church family, my family, I mean, friends,
Yeah.
jobs, our America teammates, like everybody has been just so compassionate and freely giving.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. And again, I know, but I just be like, I'm just Jackie.
Yeah.
And apparently I'm more than what I think I am.
Come on, honey. Come on, honey.
But it gets beyond me because it's not hard work. I mean, it's not work. It's just what I like to do. Like I like social media. I like to be open and honest and be who I am, present the way that I present, and it helps people apparently. And that's all. That's all that I do. Like now that I've been through this process, like literally, like I'm not done. I'm not even done with my process. Like we're still going through the process. Like I said, this has been a 90 days thus far, and in this 90 days, July 20th, it hasn't even been a month, I had a double mastectomy. And so before that, like I had like a good friend, a neighbor offered me free counseling. And they had moved and her and her husband surprise visit, came over with flowers and cards and things, and she just happened to ask me, she said, how are you doing mentally? And I was honest, like not good. Just and totally forgetting that she was a counselor or a Christian counselor.
Yes.
And she was like, I would love to counsel you. And she was like, just let me know when. And I told her as soon as possible. And I think that was like a Wednesday, and I was over her house for 3 hours on a Friday.
Yeah.
And it was the best help I could have ever received. Best techniques. I didn't know that I was dealing with anxiety.
Yep.
She was like, anxiety is not always,
No.
huge events. Like there's, different levels to this thing. You know what I'm saying? And giving me coping mechanisms and talking raw truths. Like, okay, so are you prepared to, if you die from this? Conversations. And me and her, there's a relationship between me and her. So not only is she professionally counseling me, like she loves me.
Right.
We cry together during the counseling, and
right.
She knows my husband. She knows my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like that was like a true blessing. Like I messaged her not too long ago, like just thank you. You know what I mean? And she checks in. But back again, like I just had like the double mastectomy. It hasn't been a month ago. So not only was I stressed out about losing my breast, if I wanted to not have them at all, if I wanted to just lose one and have my natural breast and go flat on one side, or I mean, it's multiple options.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is mentally challenging.
Right.
And so I'm doing videos, but I'm still like going through. You know what I'm saying? I finally had the double mastectomy, made a decision, which at the time I felt like was a decision that I couldn't make on my, like just thinking about myself.
Yeah.
I felt like my decision was based off of my whole family.
Right.
My double mastectomy decision was based off of one, me and my husband's relationship with my breast, my relationship with my breast.
Yeah.
This occurring again and reducing the risk of it possibly occurring again, and then the aesthetics of having breasts, and then or just going flat and would I be able to live with that?
Yeah.
So it was like some of the hardest decisions at that point. So it's just like a constant, like roller coaster, constant roller coaster. So I decided on the double mastectomy. Here I am, and after that, then we're at Everything's Fine Hospital, recovery, which was a process. Out of the hospital, they expect you to go home the same day after.
That is crazy.
After mastectomy, so I had my mastectomy done and I had reconstructive surgery the same day. So not only did I have my natural breast taken out, I actually had implants put in all on the same day.
And the same day.
Same day, yeah. So
I didn't even know they could do it in the same day.
I found out a lot of women are not getting that benefit. A lot of women have things that are, what's the name of it? It's basically kind of like balloons they put in there, so expanders that they put in there, and it can look like fake breast until it either stretches the skin out to a certain size or something like that, so it'll be able to fit an implant. A lot of women don't get to retain their nipples, and I got to retain mine. A lot of women, it's so much that goes through this whole process. Even now, I numb under they took lymph nodes out to see if apparently lymph nodes go through your breast, through your arms, and all over your body, basically. But they take those out to check and see if they spread, if cancer tries to spread through there.
Yes, it will.
So I had 5 of those removed. Praise God, no cancer was in those.
Yes, thank you.
But it left me with a numb arm. And so from here to here, it's literally numb. And then my range of motion, it's better on this side, but it's definitely worse on this side. So when I think I have peace of mind, I have a motion in my arm, which reminds me, dang.
Yeah.
This is why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, back to when my sister said, dang, it's only been 90 days.
Only 90 days. Whew.
And it's been so much in a 90-day period that if I think about it now, I haven't had a break. I have just still been
still moving.
Like this, I had a cousin, I'll let you talk about it. I had a little cousin that apparently came to the house when, after surgery, Lamont. They came to the house after surgery, so he was talking to me the other day. He was like, "Yeah, cousin, how you doing?" I was like, "I'm." He was like, "You was talking to me about my investments and how I need to get my investments started, and he was telling me how much money I have when I retire, and with that much amount I need to start putting up and stuff like that." He was like, "But what was so funny is you kept falling asleep, and then you would wake back up."
I know that's right.
I said, but I bet you my numbers was right.
That's right. Okay. That's right.
My numbers was right. I said, we can reconvene and come back later when I wasn't medicated.
Yes.
But, like I said, just not stopping, just constantly going because it keeps me sane. I think if I give my mind too much time, I will get back into what's like a sunken place, and I don't want to be in a bad state. And it's hard to.
Could be a death sentence for real. Not necessarily.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But some people that don't have people to either help pull them out of because it's so deep.
Yes, you can.
And you instantly with the C word, you instantly think death. I'm sorry, it's hard not to think that you're going to die.
Yes.
This is an option, and then they give you such a large break in time. It was almost 3 weeks before my one appointment before I got to KU. So in that almost 3-week period, I don't know what type of cancer I have. I don't know how aggressive it is. I don't know
all the questions.
I don't know what stage. I don't know anything. And so in the mix of that, I'm thinking, of course, the worst. I'm hoping for the best. I'm praying that God keeps me here.
That's right.
I'm going through all of these different things in almost like a survival mode.
Right.
My therapist at the time, she had mentioned, have you been through the driving God stage?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Because you got.
Personality.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like I'm like all of these different stages that I'm going through, and then still trying to be mom and loving. And I went through times where I'm hugging my kids. Like, I'm a loving mom anyways. I got all boys, so I love my boys and a daughter. But you know, living in a household, my boys, and so I'm constantly like I found myself like hugging them longer and trying to hold them, telling them things, that hoping that they remember. I was just being more intentional about life. And then life started just looking completely different. Clouds look different. Grass look different. Appreciation just shot through the roof. And I'm just like, I want to be here.
That's right.
Like, I want to be here. Like, please don't let this what takes me out of here. Because if I didn't appreciate, and I personally think that I appreciate it, but if I didn't appreciate it now, I definitely see the beauty in the world a whole lot better.
Yes.
And in people, in all honesty. Because like I said, like I didn't think people cared. I mean, it's not that I didn't think people were mean or didn't care too much about me. Like, I just didn't expect it for it to be shown.
Right.
As much as it has been and been shown.
The level of
of appreciation is like my family. The first 2 weeks out of the hospital, we didn't have to cook a meal at all. At all. People brought food to us every single day. We had our church family had it set up.
Honey, y'all had some meals.
Eat like
no
chatting, nothing.
Every day, and every day it was just a blessing to, first of all, to see those people, and those people, some people even admitting like this isn't their comfort zone to cook for other people, but making the decision like, but you know, not my will. I'm just gonna do what
That's right.
I'm supposed to do, and I love you. Like, here, if you need anything else, let me know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just been beyond crazy, and like I'm like, God, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
And another thing is, I remember I was having a conversation with one of my sisters, and she was like, because I go in and out of eating healthy or whatever, and she's like, you're fairly healthy or whatever. She said, have you ever asked yourself why? Like, why you? And I said, no. I said, I never thought that. And I still haven't thought that. I still have never thought, like, why me?
No.
I don't think I even had time to think, why me?
Yeah.
Like, why me? I just was instantly like,
let's go.
Like,
let's go.
Okay, tell me what I need to do. Like, okay. And then it's just been literally boom, 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 boom. Up, down, up, down, up, down. The entire time.
Yeah.
With my kids, like, telling the kids, like, it's just been like this. And then it's more often thankfulness and all honesty of the process. I'm like, Lord, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because I see now. Or thank you, Lord, because I got a moment to actually be still and worship you at home. Or thank you, Lord, I finally got a moment to actually worship you at church. Like, thank you, Lord, I've been actually able to like see these things. Like, thank you. So I've been actually more thankful. What most people would see as a entire crisis. I'm like being more thankful than anything.
Yes.
And I guess it's just shining through. And so, as in comedy, as it might be presented to some, because what I see is funny. Some people might or might not, but I present it anyways because I see the funny in the moment or whatever my circumstance is. Like,
that's right.
I came out of there with the party with C cups, and I came out with D cups. Like, I did not ask for these. Like, Doc, did you give me what you wanted or what I asked for? Like, these are too big for me. And he's like, just 6 months they're settled. And I'm like, that's a long time to have to deal with some double D. Like, what is going on?
You was like, I feel like I'm about to tip over.
When I bend over, honey, I feel it when I bend. I got a whole, I'll be in the car. I'll be in the car like this when we drive around in the car. But I'm like, I can't just, this is uncomfortable. This is new.
She's soft.
Oh my goodness.
Tell me.
But it's been.
I love it.
It's been a huge roller coaster, and when it goes up, it definitely goes down. But I try to make sure it goes up, it's back up the hill as quickly as possible. And we've been dealing with, even lately, like me now, my breast being released from bandages and stuff like that. Like,
Brain.
Yeah.
So I
She had
had
these
all these,
long
like he
tubes
said, I
taken
Yeah.
was like Predator or something, like all
Yeah,
these
she
tubes.
had a lot of tubes.
All these
Yeah.
tubes coming out my body, and so we go to the doctor. Was that last week? Last
Yeah.
Tuesday? So it's weekly appointments, and so I finally got my last tube taken out. Getting those tubes out are very painful, at least the top ones, because they go through your entire breast, and so then they just literally just like
Ooh.
breathe, take a deep
Yeah,
breath,
take a deep breath.
and which don't work. And
Right.
And anyways, go through that process, and now I go to my last appointment, and they go in, they pull out my last drain, which thank God wasn't painful, and they take off all of my bandages, which was like a saran wrap in my opinion, take that off, and then I had like a implant augmentation like strap that I wore, a stabilizer that I wore, and so they took all that stuff off, and then they're like, okay. I'm like, okay, what? Like, you're not gonna give me no bra, you're not gonna give me nothing, like, you just go home?
That's it.
And he's like, yeah, you're good. If you want to go run, you can run. No, I can't. I mean,
I gotta have something.
Because I like to run. I was like, oh, I can run. And then I was thinking, like, run where?
Yeah.
What do you mean? and I was like, he was like, well, you can put the strap back on if you want to be comfortable. Put the stabilizer back on.
Yeah.
But you don't need anything. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
like, this is it.
This
Like, I
is-
just leave like this. And so now I'm dealing with being comfortable with new breasts that I already was uncomfortable with receiving. And so now I'm having to be patient with the process on the way the breasts look, be patient on the process of the settlements apparently, and whatever the doctor is telling me on how this process goes. Because if I have to be honest, am I pleased? No, because it's just not, they're not mine. That's kind of how I feel. They're mine, but I can tell, like, these aren't what I had before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just have to just get used to the new look,
Yeah.
and they don't look bad, do they? They just
No,
do.
Anthony like
They just
that.
operate in the clothing. They look aesthetically pleasing, but
Yeah.
outside, to me, it's just they do things that just a natural breast don't do. So I have to get used to it, and and confirm with doctors. Is this normal for this
Right.
and stuff like that? But
Cause it's just been 90 days.
Yeah, right.
and
And then
it
too,
hasn't even been a month since it's
The surgery.
7/20.
Oh.
The surgery
Surgery
day.
day.
So it
Yeah,
hasn't even
yeah,
been a
yeah,
month. So again,
yeah.
I'm back pushing myself like Jackie.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been a month since surgery.
and then I'm trying to get her to understand too, like, I ain't even worried about the physical part. I'm in love with this and
Yes.
that.
Come on.
I'm not, I didn't marry you. I didn't fall in love with you because of them.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's another thing that I try to forget the physical.
Yes.
Don't worry about the physical. I want you here.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, nah, I can't lose my dog.
Right.
I had 2, 3, 4 prayer closets. I was
Okay.
You know what
Take
I'm
the
saying?
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things. I was like, yo, I don't want to lose you. But I said, I'm not worried. I said, babe, you make a decision that's going to be right for you. I said, don't. I said, and I appreciated her thinking of me in that moment. Because I wouldn't have cared if she been selfish in that moment for
Right.
real. But for me, I was like, babe, make the decision that you feel is going to be comfortable for you. I'll fall in love with you. I
Right.
ain't worried about those. But, I mean, to me, that's a bonus.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I wanted to tell people that are the supporters in this thing, like, you have to really support. You have to really love. You have to really, encourage. You have to really, like, be everything that she needed you to be, or whatever, vice versa, needed to be to make sure she's good here
And
she's
here.
gone
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah.
All day long.
So that goes to the relationship.
Yes.
That goes to marriage.
Yes.
That goes to those vows.
Yes.
Death do us part.
Yes.
The good, the bad, the
Yes.
ugly, the indifferent, all that. So that's marriage.
Because it was hey, what was that? What, maybe 2 weeks ago? Has it been 2 weeks now?
Since surgery.
No, since I kicked you out the bedroom. So here's the problem. So she kind of felt a little, we was both feeling a little frisky that day. You know what I'm saying? We ain't had no real touch. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, she gonna come get the baby. Because we hadn't slept each other. Because we like touch people when we sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We like the physical touch. And sometimes that's how we fall asleep.
Yeah.
So I'm in the bed, like she in the living room because she couldn't sleep in the bed.
Right.
So she had to sleep upright. So she's sitting, we got a sectional couch and she's sleeping in the corner and I'm like, is she okay? You need your medicine. You got some water. All right. I go in the bed. I'm up all night because I'm worried about her. She up all night. If she ain't on no pain medicine.
Right.
You know. And so anyway, so this day, we was like, oh, she gonna go to the bed.
I was like, yeah.
Crunk. You hear me? We was, crunk, right? She get in the bed, she getting her pillows all set up. I ain't even help her, Saints. I was always getting ready like,
you're prepared.
this is my time, y'all. Should I do some push-ups? I'm like, nah, I'm cool. So she get in the bed, she like, oh. I said, get out.
I couldn't get comfortable.
I kicked her out so fast. I was like, I said, I'll think about doing that to you later. I'll think about it.
Stupid.
Yeah. I said, she was just complaining. I was like, never mind now. Get out. You want me to get you some medicine? I got you. You want some fresh water? I kicked her out, Stacey. I kicked her out, Miss Stacey.
Well deserved. It wasn't work no way.
It was not to go down. Yeah, we was crunk because even before the surgery, while during the surgery, she was on her cycle, so we couldn't do nothing anyway.
Oh Lord!
So I was like, I gotta wait.
got the itches.
But it was great because it brought humor to the situation. And we were in that day, I'll say it kind of took her mind off of some other things that she was dealing with. You know what I mean? So, and that's the other thing that I love about us. Like even in a chaotic situation, even when we can't stand each other sometimes, we find the humor in it. And we go back and we laugh.
That's it.
Oh Lord, I already what?
If we are taking up too much of your
life.
No. But no, because I can stay here forever. Yeah. But what I do want you to talk about is that Prime America.
Okay. Yes.
That's life insurance because I'm insured. Okay. My from Prime America, my children, my grandchildren. Well, Taylor. And then I think Raven, she has her own policy. And I believe my son has his own policy. But I'm going to ask him. Yeah. But I do know Taylor and the grandkids are covered. So what is... how important is it to have life insurance? And so me and Miss Janine and Adrian, I will say, we used to have subjects that matter. And we would go on some Sundays and we would talk about, them ladies was very knowledgeable about insurance, life insurance. And so my thing is to keep that going, to keep that conversation going so people can understand the life insurance that you get on your job is completely different from independent life insurance, I could say.
Okay, before you go and before she dive into that, I'm gonna get into this real quick. First off, there's a misconception about Primerica. What we do, and I'm gonna let her go into it, and I'll chime in when I need to. Okay. But there's a huge misconception. I think sometimes in this business and the business that we are involved in, sometimes those people got with the wrong people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I'm gonna let her go into it a little bit more. But in the beginning, I wasn't a believer.
Okay.
I'm to be honest.
Okay.
I went to a conference. I started talking to people.
He was a customer. He was a client.
I was a client.
I was a client.
I had insurance and investment, but I'm talking about the business aspect of it.
To getting into the business.
The business. And I'll get to and I'm gonna let her dive into the other part. But I just think there's a misconception about Primerica.
Okay.
And I wanna debunk that. It's totally legit.
Okay.
It is totally money to be made. It is completely dope. I'm telling you from an unbeliever perspective.
Right.
I wanted to do it, then I was like, man, this is whack. I ain't doing this junk. You know what I'm saying? And then she got into it, and then I was like, okay, whatever. And then we start going to stuff, and I was like, oh shoot.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I was this last trip we went to in Atlanta, man, it was amazing. And it just opened my eyes up a little bit more, and I was like, okay, this is it. This is for real. You know, it's not and so people that have frowned up when they hear the word Primerica, whatever you want to call it.
Because I've seen some frowns myself.
When people hear that, I just think they got with the wrong people in the business aspect of it. They were done wrong, treated wrong, or the people that were leading were not in a great position to be leaders.
Okay.
So that's why I want to debunk, like, it is totally legit.
Okay.
It is totally fun, competitive. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that I'll say about us, like, if we introduce you to it, if we ain't got time to babysit. We ain't got time to be like, well, you said we'll come back to you later because we got 5 people over here that really want to learn. Want to really learn. And so I wanted to debunk that. And then another reason it's important to have insurance because we had to bury my parents out of pocket. And it left us in a position like we was broke. Already broke. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to anybody, you know, there were some people that, you know, gave us some little pocket change, you know, but it was not what we needed at that time. You know what I'm saying? And I promise you, I'm grateful for the people that did, you know, give a little something, but it wasn't what we needed, and it set us back a lot.
Yeah.
We had to get loans. We had repos. A lot of stuff, Lady Stace, for real. Like, so it's very imperative that it happens, cause and we're testimonies of paying out of pocket. 2 parents out of pocket. So I'm gonna back off of that, and then I'm gonna let the boss lady talk. It's important. It's completely important. So go ahead, boss lady.
It's a true business. I wouldn't been in it this long.
Yes.
So 2 things about my perspective on how I educate people on insurance is that I let people know there's 2 things that's going to happen in life. You're either going to live too long or die too soon. And you need to be prepared for both.
Right.
So if you live too long, then you want to make sure you have your investments and everything set up, because retirement is not an age, it's a number. And that's what I tell them. And then if you die too soon, you want to make sure you have adequate insurance to cover either replace your income, so somebody whoever's taking care of your children will be able to take care of them. If you was making $20,000 a year, don't you think they wanted $20,000 a year that you was to take care of that same child? Because if not, you're going to bring that child into somebody's household, and they're not going to have enough money to take care of your child because they weren't planning for it. And so think outside of yourself and think about what the insurance is for, because it's definitely not for you, unfortunately.
Yes.
Insurance is for the living, and another thing people don't think about, like, there's part with Primerica insurance, like, there's ways where you can, like, a terminal illness benefit. Let's say if my cancer ended up being a terminal illness, I can get a percentage of our large policy and just use it as I will. Yeah. And people don't know that. And that's because either during the time that you were giving your insurance, you either weren't educated on that part, or a lot of people just don't read. And so when you get your policy, a lot of people just shove it up, put it in a file, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And so my point, what I feel like I do different is that I make sure I educate people in the best way that I can on both aspects, the getting insurance and getting your investments together, and so they can correlate with each other. And so because we only offer term insurance, so when they, thanks babe, appreciate it.
Sorry. Port break.
That's fine.
And so when they get their insurance and investments together, because we only offer term, imagine for you working on your job for 20 years and you're doing an investment, right? And so then when you retire from that job, you expect a big benefit for your retirement benefit. Well, let's also think about your investments with your life insurance. When your life insurance term ends, what I tell my clients is, I don't want you to look at me as if now what? Like, and I'm gonna be looking at you like, okay, so now do you wanna renew it? You don't need $500,000 worth of coverage anymore, you might only need $100,000 worth of coverage. But what I want you to do is look at me and say, okay, well, thank you for teaching me that I need to buy my term and invest the difference.
Yeah.
And so when my 20 years is up, I've been investing for that same in 20 years, and you'd be like, oh God, thank you, Jackie, for letting me invest for this term 20 years. And I actually, you know what, I got so much money, I don't even need life insurance anymore. Because what we tell people is you don't want life insurance your entire life. If you do it properly, you can have your investment set up to where by the time your term is over, we go through a 35-year term is the max. Most companies maybe either 25 or 30, 35 years. And once that term is up, you should be self-sufficient and ready for retirement. Your kids will be gone, and what we'll do then is we'll just relook at your the coverage that you might need. If you want to keep it, we'll say, okay, well, has your mortgage been paid off? Okay, so you don't need to cover your mortgage anymore.
Right.
Is the income replacement that you might have needed, do you still need to cover this much income? Okay, we might be able to decrease that. How much debt do you have? You paid off your cars and all that stuff right now, so you don't need this much for debt replacement. So if you do renew it, you might have to start off with $500,000 and you might only need $100,000.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You had insurance. You might have said, I needed $50,000 on each one of my kids if something happened and I want them to have money to go to college. Okay, they're 20-something years old now, 23. There they go. Okay, so we can take that $50,000 coverage off also, so you don't need that much coverage. You know
right.
what I'm saying? So during that time, like there's adjustments and things that can be made even during a term policy. But I definitely educate them on, and that's why I got my investment license, is because you want to make sure you buy term and invest the difference. And so you don't have to have insurance for your whole life. Only people that do is people that want to, or rich people, millionaires, they don't have life insurance unless they want to.
Right.
So you don't have, it's not that you know what I'm saying? Not that you have to have life insurance. Rich people technically don't need life insurance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
What you want is you want to be able to be self-insured in the end. And during how to do that, in my opinion, is through making sure you have your investments and things properly set up. So when the time comes, you can drop your insurance and then and be free and then be self-insured.
Okay.
It's important, man, to be properly educated. And one of those are the two biggest things I believe I heard her say is being properly educated and read.
Yep.
A lot of times let me keep it 100.
Okay.
Our community,
okay,
we don't like to read.
Keep it real.
We don't like to talk about life insurance.
Nope.
We don't like to, and
talk about dying.
One of the things we always kind of discuss when we're teaching, or what's the seminar we do? Just the webinar that we do. We try to get people to understand that you can spend $20, $30 at Walmart, McDonald's, or anywhere, but don't want to spend. And this is some people spending this kind of
every
money
day. Every day.
But you don't want to spend that
for a month.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah, and that's what we talk about in one of our webinars. Like it's like how it goes. It's like $25 a month. If somebody came to you at 20 years old and said, put up $25 a month, by the time you retire, you have $186,000. Would you do it?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the scale goes on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have to be able to be allowed the opportunity to properly educate people. Like my husband said, like, Primerica has a bad name only because of maybe the person that presented you the information. But if you find the right individual that educates you properly, provides you all the services that we provides or offers you all the services that we offer, and let you know exactly what they are, how they help you can protect your family, then I can guarantee, which I have seen with my own eyes, the pleasure of people of knowing they're like, I didn't know you did all of that. I didn't know that Primerica does that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you guys, and in my mind, I'm happy for them, but I'm also like, God, this sucks. Because like you don't know like all the opportunities or the savings that you either could have had when in the beginning, when you first got your policy, or you know what I'm saying, or at some point in your life. at some point in your life when you could have been introduced to an investments and like and it's hard to talk about investment when you have your investment license. It's really restricted, so I can only say really so much. But it's just very difficult to educate people or to get in front of people to get them the information. But most of the time, once they get the information, they're like, oh my God,
I didn't know that.
and then bam, then they're ready. And so then what I've learned is it's not Primerica that people make the decision with, it's the person. Like, you want to do this because of who I am, not even because of Primerica. If you went with Geico, you went because you seen the commercial and you thought the lady was funny.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So it's not. So
It's not
the company.
Nope.
It's like how they presented themselves, and and what they can offer you. And personally, I feel like I present the business as best that I can, and I educate each client the best that I can to make sure that they have the proper amount of coverage, and that they will be properly ready for retirement. I just hope that they just take my advice. If not, my pleasure to be able to have helped you and gave you the numbers and information that you needed at the time. So whenever you are ready, here's my calendar link. Use it, and we go from there.
Because we've come to the point where, especially like people in our family, friends, that we felt like we've educated them enough. So, and if they don't go with it, somebody died, don't come to ask me for $20.
Right.
Oh yeah, I've
Because
definitely said on that now.
And it's not the fact that we're trying to be selfish, we're trying to be mean, we educated you, not tried, we educated you, we told you, we showed you the way, we showed you this.
Or you know what I provide.
Or you know what we provide. You know what I'm saying? And our biggest thing is, we would love for you to come to us.
Right.
But if you don't, make sure you got
Get some. I say the same thing. Yep.
Your job is not promised. Whatever you got on your job is not promised.
No, it's not.
You're not gonna always be. You may not always be at that job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to come to, because you mentioned group insurance. What a lot of people don't know about group insurance is that it is not your policy.
No.
When you sign up for that policy, you don't get a contract. And let me prove it to you, because when I got into the insurance industry, I was like, let me call my job and let me see if I can get that contract. And it took them 2 weeks to give me partially of what I received, and nothing had my name on it. It's because it's not Jackie's policy, it's the company's policy. And if the company decides this year we're not going to offer this benefit, then that benefit is gone. And then you're not going to work on your job for the rest of your life. So what do you plan on having after you leave that job? And if you work there 20 years, you're going to be 20 years older. You're going to have health issues more than likely. So getting coverage is going to be an issue possibly for you. So I tell people, get it while you're young, get it while you're healthy, and just get it. You know what I'm saying? But don't, and if it offers you at your job, get it too, because it's so cheap at the job. You might as well get it.
Might as well.
If you give you the group rate, you might as well get it. But there's a lot of promises that don't get kept with those type of policies, because we don't have nothing to read behind it. And unfortunately, a lot of people, I'll just say, basically get played behind it, because it's
they don't know.
They don't know. You know what I'm saying? And we don't get nothing when we sign up for it. It's just like, or the job might offer you, because I remember the job offered you life insurance, here's $20,000. And I'm like, oh, great. And I'm thinking now, like, oh my God, like if something were to happen to me then, and I just had $20,000 and I had 2 kids at the time, like, what was that going to do for anybody? Nothing. You know what I mean?
The first year and a half.
Not a year and a half. It's going to get a burial and a few months, and somebody's fully responsible for my children at that time. You know what I'm saying? And so the job doesn't know how much insurance you actually need. So you need to talk to a professional that says, hey, let's start breaking these numbers down and let's find out how much coverage you actually need to make sure that you're properly insured, and make sure that you recall that this group insurance is great to have. It's inexpensive, but don't depend on that as your primary insurance. Have something that you own on your own that's tangible, that you can pick up and say, hey, this is mine, that you can tell the family, like, if something happens to me, my policy is here, this is who you call, things like that. But don't depend just on group insurance at all. It's just a job benefit.
Yeah.
And it just looks good, just like all the other benefits that they offer for them to be able to offer it to you. But it's their policy, not yours.
And that's one thing I did not know about.
Oh, I didn't know.
I used to, I want life insurance. I want everything. Sign me up, sign me up, sign me up. But once you leave the job, that's it.
That's it. It's gone. Yeah. And one thing that people don't like, you can keep that job's insurance if you want to, but it's gonna go skyrocket. And what most people do then is leave it. And so then they don't have the insurance because it's super expensive at that point. So get it while you're young and healthy, or just get it.
Yep, I agree. So one last thing before we get off, give me the takeaway. What do you want everybody to get from this whole conversation? The lasting piece.
Man, I'll say, and I'm pretty sure she'll have something to say on this. Love, intentional, be intentional. Trust the process. Trust God. Get life insurance, investments. Get educated on any and everything that you do. Listen to your body, listen to your spouse, listen, all those great things that I'll say the takeaway. But for me, for her, I just want to make sure that she knows that I'm gonna always support her through the good, bad, and different, and everything that may, I'll say, even come my way. But the love and being intentional, I'll say those are the two biggest things as far as the cancer side of it, and then the other side is just get educated and read and make sure you get properly insured.
That was good.
Okay.
I would really like to say, just God is good all the time. Even it doesn't matter like what you're going through.
Yes, He is.
Like, He's literally proven in my household that God is good literally all the time. Even when you're down and out, even in your worst moment, there's always something that comes in and proves that He's a great God.
Yes.
And so always keep that in the forefront of your mind.
No doubt.
Even when the enemy tries to come in and snatch that hopefulness away from you, make sure that you remember who you kept by. Remember to always love yourself, allow yourself to be loved.
Yes.
If you have to, do what I did, keep yourself distracted, baby, because sometimes those distractions just keeps the enemy away because you're just so busy. Again, with the insurance thing, make sure you remember there's two things that's going to happen. You're either going to live too long or you're going to die too soon, and you need to stay protected from both.
Yeah. Yeah.
One last thing, pray corporately, pray together.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest things I think that did continue to strengthen us and give us a refreshed and a renewed type of love and relationship, because we prayed together. Like we weren't doing that. We weren't doing that.
The whole time he does that, he does not hit me in the booty.
Sorry, I'm very animated when I talk. But.
Yes.
Pray corporately, pray together.
Yes.
We did pray together sparingly or in moments.
Yeah.
But it had come to a point like it's everyday
Every day.
lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And again, we had fallen out because medication and all that kind of stuff. But just being able to pray corporately together as a family, it definitely strengthens, renews.